Hi, everybody. Well, I have to tell you that I love September and I love apples. We've been talking about apples. If you can see behind me, let me show you. I have apples, and my very good friend, Mrs. Busman, who used to work at our school, she gave me this beautiful picture, and it tells all the different kinds of apples. It says Macintosh, Cortland, Gala, Pink Lady, Fuji, Red Delicious, Granny Smith, Golden Delicious, Jonathan Gold, Honeycrisp, Braeburn, Graverstein. Take a look at all those apples. Oh, so good. Yum, yum, yum. I want to eat them all. Let's count. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there's more than this. This is just some of the kinds of apples. I just love apples, and I love this time of year. Have you gone to Apple Hill yet? It's just right up the hill. It's not very far, and it's amazing and wonderful and fun. Try and get there if you can. Talk to your families, okay? I have a story for you, and I'm going really fast because Mr. Jimenez has you on PE while I'm filming this, so I'm seeing if I can be quick and efficient. Okay, before we get started on our story, I just want to show you, this poem that we started learning. Let me go like this a little bit. Okay, I got my apples up here. Look at, there's a worm. This thing's so cute, little tiny worm. Okay, it's called The Apple Tree. And it goes like this. Follow along. These are the pictures that help us. These are the words that we're reading. Ready? We're going. Way up high in the apple tree, 2 little apples smile at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples. Were they good? Rub your tummy because they're so good. One more time. Way up high in the apple tree, 2 little apples smile at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples. Were they good? And these are all of our words. Way up high in the apple tree, 2 little apples smile at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples. Were they good? Okay, I have a story for you. You're not gonna see any pictures. I'm just gonna read it to you with my voice, and then I'm gonna show you something neat at the end, okay? It's called The Little Red House with No Doors and No Windows and a Star Inside. No doors, no windows, and a star? I don't know. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was tired of all his toys and tired of all his play. What shall I do? He asked his mother. And his mother, who always knew beautiful things for little boys to do, said, You shall go on a journey and find a little red house with no doors, no windows, and a star inside. This really made the boy wonder. Usually, his mother had good ideas, but he thought that this one was very strange. Which way shall I go? He asked. I don't know where to find a little red house with no doors and no windows. Go down the lane, past the farmer's house, over the hill, said his mother, and then hurry back as soon as you can and tell me about your long journey. So the little boy put on his cap, put on his jacket, and started out. He had not gone very far down the lane when he came to a merry little girl dancing in the sunshine. Her cheeks were bright pink blooms, petals, and she was singing like a robin. Do you know where I shall find a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside? He asked. The little girl laughed. Go ask my father, the farmer. Perhaps he might know. So the little boy went on until he came to the great brown barn where the farmer kept the barrels of fat potatoes and baskets of yellow squash and golden pumpkins. Sounds like it's the season of fall with all those wonderful fruits and vegetables. The farmer himself stood in the doorway looking out over the green pasture and yellow grain fields. Do you know where I can find a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside? He asked the farmer. The farmer laughed. Ha, 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 ha. I've lived a great many years and I've never saw one, he chuckled. But go ask Granny who lives at the foot of the hill. She knows how to make molasses taffy, popcorn balls, and red mittens. Perhaps she could direct you. So the little boy went farther on until he came to Granny, sitting in her pretty garden of herbs and marigolds. She was wrinkled as a walnut and smiling as the sunshine. "Please, dear Granny," said the little boy, "where shall I find a little red house with no doors and no windows and a star inside?" Granny was knitting a red mitten, and she turned to the little boy and she laughed. She laughed cheerily that the wool ball rolled off her lap and down the little pebbly path. "I should like to find that little house myself," she chuckled. "I would be warm when the frosty night comes, and the starlight would be prettier than a candle. But ask the wind, who blows about so much, and listen at all the chimneys. Perhaps the wind can direct you." The wind? How's he going to ask the wind? So the little boy took off with his cap and tightened it politely to the granny and went up the hill rather sorrowfully. Sorrowfully means kind of sad. He wondered if his mother, who usually had almost everything wonderful to say, had maybe told him a mistake. The wind was coming down as the hill and the little boy climbed up. As they met, the wind turned about and went along, singing beside the little boy. It whistled in his ear and pushed him and dropped a pretty leaf right into his hand. "I wonder," thought the little boy, after they had gone along together for a while, "if the wind could help me find a little red house with no doors and no windows and," that's right, a star inside. The wind could not speak in our words, but it went singing ahead of the little boy until it came to an orchard. Remember, an orchard we talked about is a place where there's a whole lot of apple trees. There it climbed up in the apple tree and shook one of the branches. Shook the branch, and what happened? When the little boy saw what happened, he was surprised. A big, great apple had fallen right at his feet. The little boy picked up the apple. It was so much big as his hands could barely fit around it. It was red as the sun, and it had no doors and no windows. Could this be what his mother was talking about? What do you think? Are you wondering? Are you thinking? Are you questioning? All right, well, I see no doors. I see no windows. I wonder if there's a star inside. Would you like to find out? Okay, here we go. I have a cutting board. It's one of my tools. I have a knife, a sharp knife, so I need to be careful. It's one of my tools. And I have a little red house with no doors and no windows. I'm gonna cut it and see if there's anything inside. I'm holding it very carefully. Can you see? Make sure you guys can see. Okay, I'm holding it very carefully. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna hold it carefully. You would never do this without a mommy or a daddy or a grown-up, right? I'm gonna carefully go like this and see. Oh, okay, put my tool to the side. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3. What shape is it? It's a star. It's my eyeballs. It's a star. It is a red house, no doors, no windows, and a star inside. Did the little boy's mommy send him on a crazy journey? Yes. Did she know what she was doing? Yes. Apples are magical. I love apples. I hope you love apples too. In fact, if you get a chance today, go eat an apple. So good. Love you. Have a good day. Bye.